Armed and dangerous! Again! Again!
I'm Melanie, or Constantly Colorful with Levelhead Gaming. I am with the spectacular professional voice actors here, Alpha Takahashi, and as well as Eliah Mountjoy. I got that right?
You got it right.
Perfect, I'm too good. So I'm really excited to speak to you guys because you're in the industry that I absolutely love, both gaming and professional. I am an aspiring voice actor, that is why. With your characters in Marvel Rivals as well, being the Winter Soldier as well as Psylocke, were you able to be given a lot of flexibility with your approach, or because they were pre-existing within the world of Marvel? How would you go about that? Did you have a lot of leeway, would you say?
I had a lot of flexibility. I was very nervous going into it because there were so many previous iterations of the voice of Psylocke, and more than a dozen voice actors I've voiced her before, and there were different accents, different characteristics, personalities that they portrayed. But for the video game version, they let me have the time of my life. They gave me a lot of freedom. I brought a lot of my identity, my heritage to the role. I'm Japanese. I was born and raised there very traditionally with also martial arts training. So I was able to incorporate that into the role.
Yeah, they gave me a lot of latitude. You know, the role was already instantiated by Sebastian, pun intended.
And I don't really sound a lot like him.
You know, unless I'm doing my best to impersonate him, the armed and dangerous. Again. That's as close as I get, you know. So they were great. Thank you. As I said, I'm always trying to pick up new tools, but they gave me a lot of latitude because when I came in, I sound like me. You know, or you can put an affectation on my voice, but I'm not going to sound like the established MCU. I'm going to bring myself, like Alpha brought herself. Right? We're not playing the characters like Spider-Man or Hulk. Those are kind of printed. You kind of have to sound a certain way to play those characters. So we got a lot more latitude to do that. And the game devs, the recording studio, they gave us that latitude, which is really great.
That kind of leeways to what I was about to say before. With the technique, like, do you have a technique of keeping into the character once you have a grasp on the character, especially being in a sound booth, not in like motion capture? I'd assume this wasn't motion capture.
Yeah, and I do motion capture. So I also have a lead-in for if I walk like a character, behave like a character. Lots of people do have lead-ins. Like if I'm going to do my Australian, I'll start with yeah or no, and that launches me in. But Winter Soldier, he's got two sides to him. Okay. He's very cool and very calm. And that's how tactical people are. The people I've trained with are very calm. The people that are very dangerous are very, very smooth. And when it's time to ramp it up, they switch. So I had both of those lead-ins, very cool, and then flip into red line mode. So that's how I got into my character.
That's interesting because I feel like my preparation for it to be consistent with the voices, to get my other side of the voice out. I naturally have a very high-pitched voice. This is my speaking voice, and it's up here, and that's not how Psylocke speaks. It's much lower down here. And in order to get there, I think I try to do the opposite while preparing for it. And have a little fun with it, like do my penguin voices and my Pikachu's out before I go into the booth. So then, like, now I'm set. I got that side out. But I think a lot of the help came from our director, our session director. They helped us find our character and stay there, and also be consistent with the lore at the same time.
Also, I will be completely transparent. I have not actually played Marvel Rivals. My husband does. And I did have a question saying, what's your favorite line in the game? And I was told by my co-interviewer that Winter Soldier, for example, says the word again multiple times. Is that correct?
He says again a few times, and depending on how well you can play him, yes, the more agains you get. So the agains are part of the ult, his ultimate. So they call it an ult. So the more shots you hit, yes, you go up to 100%, where eventually you get your ult. And in Winter Soldier's case, it's armed and dangerous. And then the more times you do it again, you get to go again. So I'll give it to you, but I don't know if I'm gonna. It's very loud. Is it? We're good to go for it? All right. Once the Winter Soldier has his ult, he goes,
armed and dangerous! Armed and
And I'll spare you the multitude other agains.
She does have a line. The ultimate line is in Japanese, which I love that they gave me in Japanese. She also says, "Watch me soar," but the people online have been seeing me sew cosplay costumes for
For
Bucky.
me, primarily.
And they came up with "Watch me sew" instead of soar.
Apropos.
I thought that was really sweet of them to find out. I'll say the Japanese one. Yes, it means dance of the butterflies.
That is so sick, I will say. Thank you again so much. This has been lovely. Thank you again. Have a great day today as well as being in Australia. Thank you so much.